Good morning, it's March 5th, and this is To My Liberal Friends. I keep hoping that some form of civility and normalness will return to politics. I think I might be waiting a long time. Last night, at Trump's speech before a joint session of Congress, the lack of common courtesy was on full display as Democrats try to show the nation just how juvenile they can be. Last November, the American public voted for a change in administrations and a change in policy. They were not happy with the direction of the country and rejected the status quo and brought Donald Trump back to the White House. Now, you can love or hate Donald Trump, and we're a divided country on that question, but the facts remain he was elected as the President of the United States, both with the Electoral College, the only vote that really counts, and the popular vote. It was a popular vote that stunned most political analysts and should be a wake-up call to Democrats. They've relied on huge majorities in states like California, New York, and Illinois to deliver a popular vote win for their candidate. Across the country, a look at the vote totals by county showed Trump winning an overwhelming number of counties. He made significant gains among black voters, women voters, and young voters. These are the voting blocks that Democrats count on elections, and they're losing their advantage. Last night, the speech began, and immediately Congressman Al Green, Democrat from Texas, stood up, waving his cane and attempted to disrupt the speech. Finally, Speaker Johnson had to instruct the Sergeant-at-Arms to remove the congressman from the chamber. I cannot remember something like that happening. I remember when Joe Wilson made his statement, "You lied," and he was told it was improper. But that was not the end of the Democrats showing their lack of decorum. In any speech to Congress by a sitting president, the dynamics are normally the same. The president's party cheers him on, and the opposition sits quietly on their hands. That's expected. Republicans and Democrats both engage in this type of behavior. But last night, the Democrats decided to go a bit further. First, a large number of them refused to attend the speech, mistakenly thinking that would look favorably by the voters in the nation. For many Democrats in attendance, it was a time to hold up childish signs while the president was speaking. Trump came right at them early in the speech. He made it clear that he understood there was nothing he could say or do that would get them to smile or applaud. Quoting his speech, he said, "This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there's absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly would not cheer for these astronomical achievements." End quote. He took the Democrats on and took it right to them. But even when introducing a young cancer survivor and making him an honorary member of the Secret Service, the Democrats could not force themselves to stand and applaud this young man. When a high school student with a 4.6 GPA and 6 varsity letters was told he'd been accepted to West Point, the Democrats sat. This was a young man whose father was a police officer and had passed away. This is how far down the rabbit hole they've gone. And still the Democrats seem lost in the wilderness. Interactive polling by CBS News showed that 76% of viewers approved of Trump's speech. Over on CNN, that number was 69%. And about 68% of those who watched the speech said it made them feel hopeful. 54% said it made them proud, and only 27% were worried by the speech. And these are not on conservative news outlets. This is CBS and CNN. Is anyone in the Democratic leadership paying attention? Their numbers are at the lowest I can remember. A recent poll showed that only 34% of people are now identifying themselves as Democrat. At one point in the speech, Trump stated he believed that the Almighty had spared his life last summer so that he could lead America to greatness again. Now that might be a bit of hyperbole, but the camera caught Nancy Pelosi mouthing the words, quote, "Oh my God," to Steny Hoyer. Two octogenarians trying to figure out what went wrong with their party and still not getting it. Halfway through the speech, a group of Democrats decided they'd had enough, got up and left the chamber. Can you imagine what the Democrats and their friends in the media would say if Republicans had done that to Joe Biden or Barack Obama? One of the highlights of the speech, in my opinion, was when Trump said he'd received a letter from President Zelensky earlier in the day. The contents amplified what Zelensky had said on social media that day, but the message was that Ukraine was ready to go to the negotiating table and find a peaceful solution to the war, as well as sign the Minnow agreement that had seemed to collapse only a day earlier. If Trump can negotiate a peace, you would think the Democrats would give him credit, but don't hold your breath. The bottom line for last night was it was Trump being Trump. This is not a president that is scripted by staff and kept under wraps. This is a president, for right or wrong, who's going to lead his way, and that's something you should all expect from a leader. If Democrats keep wandering in the wilderness, they might find there's no Moses to lead them to the promised land. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening.